Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, Am I the A-hole for giving my girlfriend ultimatum about her male best friend? And a shout out to Bill for sending me this story. And guys, this is all about a guy, he's 28 years old, been with his girlfriend for a year, and right now, it is drama central as he has finally stood up for himself, laid down the law with his girl, and she's panicking her relationship is almost over. And why is that? Well, for the last year, he has been tolerating her having a male best friend who she's shown incredible disrespect towards this guy about. Hanging out with him all the time, texting him all the time, all this behavior, and not caring how he felt about the thing. And the guy was a bonehead for getting a relationship with her to begin with, let alone not standing up for himself and establishing boundaries. He has behaved up until this point as a classic nice guy. However, when he finally grows a pair and handles things right, meltdown central. Absolutely. And this goes to show you the power a guy can have by being able to walk away. When a woman knows that if she crosses you, you're done with her, it is amazing, that power. Okay? And all guys got to have that, because women will never love you if they don't respect you. And they won't respect you if they know that you put up with endless amounts of BS and don't have the self-respect to walk away. And when a man starts to show it, it's amazing what happens, because now the ball is in his court and he has the power here. And there are a lot of lessons in this story, but also it's just primarily about self-respect, standing up for yourself. But of course, you're going to see lots of gaslighting and the usual BS, so definitely pay attention to that. He says, I, a 28-year-old male, have been dating my girl Sarah, a 26-year-old female, for just over a year now. And while I love her, there's one thing that's been eating at me since the very beginning, her relationship with her male best friend, Jake. She shouldn't have a male best friend. Okay, that should never be tolerated. Just like if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't have a female best friend. One, because your girlfriend's your girlfriend. And also, why would a guy have a female best friend? I mean, that's a whole other conversation. Jake has been Sarah's ride or die since college. Keyword ride. And I knew from the start that they were really close. But what I didn't realize was how much it would impact our relationship. I've always tried to be the chill, trusting boyfriend. I don't want to be the guy who's threatened by platonic friendship. But honestly, it's gotten to the point where I felt like I'm the third wheel in my own relationship. Well, that shows to me that she's an a-hole. But then again, you're an a-hole too, because you got in this relationship with her knowing full well she had a male best friend. And that was going to be a problem. Okay, you should establish your boundaries, or just simply said, you know what? Hey, we're having a good time, but this is just not going to work. And now he knows. Now look what he's dealing with. Jake and Sarah are practically inseparable. So he's her other boyfriend. They hang out multiple times a week. Dinners, movie nights, spontaneous late night drives. And I'm usually not even invited. If I try to join, it's awkward. Like I'm crashing their private joke-filled world and I'm not part of things. It stings, but I try to let it go for the sake of keeping the peace. Smack! That's what weak-ass beta nice guys do. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't, keeping the peace. Walking on eggshells. Okay, being passive. Where's that gotten you? Stand up for yourself. Be a fucking man. Remember guys, we learn shit on this channel. You either shouldn't have gotten in a relationship with her at all, or you laid out your terms of how this is going to go if I'm going to be in a relationship. And if she didn't like it, too bad. You know, that's it. Look what he's dealing with now. But then things started to cross the line. Things have been crossing the line. But you allowing shit has made things escalate. Jake texts her constantly, even when we're on dates. It's not just casual stuff either. He calls her babe and sweetheart, and when I brought this up to Sarah, she laughed and said it was just their thing, and that didn't mean anything. Yeah, they're hooking up. Apparently, they've been calling each other that for years. But to me, it feels like they're more than that. Who calls their best friend babe when they're in a relationship? I don't know, the guy that owned the pig babe? Then there was the night I stayed over at her place and woke up at 2 a.m. to find Sarah on FaceTime with Jake. She was giggling like a schoolgirl, whispering this so she wouldn't wake me up. When I asked her about it the next morning, she brushed at us and that Jake needs someone to talk to. But what about me? Am I just here as background noise while she stays emotionally tethered to the guy? Pretty much, I think you're the guy that she's like planting roots with as, okay, well, her guy Jake ain't marrying type, but I'll find a nice guy, because, dude, you are the classic nice guy here, who I can have my way with, who can maybe marry me one day, provide. Meanwhile, she can have Jake on the side to do whatever she wants to do. Final straw came last weekend. Sarah and I have been planning a special weekend getaway for our 1-year anniversary, something we'd been looking forward to for months. But out of nowhere, Jake invites her to a concert the same weekend. Sarah asked me if we could postpone our anniversary trip so she could go with Jake instead because it's a band they both absolutely love. There you go. Remember, gentlemen, it's always about paying attention to people's actions. Men, women, anybody. Pay attention to their actions, how they treat you. There's what they say, and there's what they do. It's all about what they do. Has her actions proven that this guy means shit to her? No, let me rephrase that. Does he mean anything to her? No, he is shit in her eyes. I was floored. Our anniversary, something we've been planning for months, could just be rescheduled for Jake. It was like I didn't even matter. You don't matter. Because remember, you're trying to go with the flow and not come off as jealous or controlling. Look what that's got you. I told her that this is way too much and asked her to set some clear boundaries with Jake. Like no more pet names, no more hanging out one-on-one all the time, and definitely no more prioritizing him over our relationship. She blew up at me, calling me, wait for it, controlling and insecure. She even said, you knew Jake was part of my life when we started dating. Why are you trying to change me now? So that part she said, that's a valid point. You knew about this and still you continue dating her and getting a relationship with her. If there's boundaries to be done, he should have done it then or not gotten involved with her. I will say that. But right there, of course, controlling and insecure. When a guy stands up for himself, that's always what happens, the shaming tactic. And it works for most guys. We've heard this a bazillion times. Don't fall for it. What this guy should do is basically, he should just walk away, or if he wants to give it a shot, he can say, here's the deal. Either you and I can be in a relationship, or you and Jake can be in a relationship. We're not going to have both. There's not going to be me, you, and Jake. Period. Make a choice. Things got worse when Jake apparently told her that I was being toxic and trying to manipulate her. Sarah is siding with him, saying I'm overacting and that nothing has ever happened between them. Sure, let's just say nothing ever happened. Let's say nothing ever happened between them, nothing physical. They have some weird friendship, I don't know what, which is hard to believe, but fair enough. Doesn't matter. This guy's still being treated as these sloppy seconds. He's not important, and there's too much Jake in their lives. They're going to have a romantic relationship, and he has every right to be pissed off and annoyed. But again, he brought a lot of this on himself. She's not furious at me for giving her an ultimatum, when all I really asked for was some boundaries that would make me feel like I'm her boyfriend, not just some side character in her life with Jake. Of course she's mad, because in her eyes, only women give ultimatums. Now Sarah's giving me the silent treatment, and I'm starting to feel like I'm somehow becoming the villain in my own relationship. Dude, break up with her. Cut your losses, move on. She's an asshole. You're no saint either, but she's an asshole, move on. Am I losing my mind here? I'm not asking her to drop Jake completely, just to prioritize us and respect our relationship, but maybe I've been unreasonable. You're not unreasonable. The thing is, you've been going along with her plan so long, anything deviating from her way or the highway is making her crazy. And instead of communicating like an adult, she's giving you this silent treatment, ultimate manipulation, and you're falling for it. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for asking my girl to set boundaries with her male best friend, or is this friendship way too close for comfort? You're the a-hole for being this nice guy beta bitch. You shouldn't have gotten in a relationship with her to begin with, or laid out your boundaries in the beginning. And if she went with them, then fine, we'll give our relationship a shot. If not, then you walk away. But these girls, these male best friends, and I have a very hard time believing that they're not hooking up or have it in the past. Seriously. And she knows how this bothers you. She doesn't care. Again, I'm convinced you're the guy she's now locking in as her guy that potentially will marry her one day, but she's having her fun on the side with this dude. Now his update, where things get interesting. He says, hey Reddit, I'm back with an update, and let me just say it didn't turn out how I expected at all. I want to thank you all for an amazing support you've all given me. After reading over the comments and talking to some of you guys, I made up my mind. I was done being second place in my own relationship, and I was ready to walk away. But what happened next surprised me. Well, good for him. This is a situation where he posted his story, got some actual good help, advice. On Saturday night, Sarah came over to talk. I was prepared to have the breakup conversation, but before I could get a word in, she told me something unexpected. She had canceled the concert plans with Jake. Uh-huh. How interesting. How interesting when a guy begins to stand up for himself and she starts to realize her perfect little situation is jeopardized. She said that after our last conversation, she realized how serious I was, and it made her think about everything. She told me she had been selfish, that she'd been taking our relationship for granted. She said she told Jake she couldn't go to the concert, and instead, she wanted to spend the weekend with me. No distractions, no third wheels, just us. I'm calling bullshit here. This is too much, too soon. I think what's happening is she realizes this guy's walking away. In her mind, she invested time with this guy, but this is Mr. Propose to Me guy. And she must have salvaged it. So she's probably told Jake, let's just put things on hold a little bit, rebuild with this guy, and then we'll go back to her old ways. She hasn't changed. I was honestly shocked. Part of me didn't believe it. For months, I had been asking her to set boundaries with Jake, and suddenly she was doing it. It felt surreal, like a last-minute effort to save something that was already broken. Ding, ding, ding. That's his gut feeling. Trust your gut. But she seems sincere. I don't care how she seems, my friend. Believe me, women can be fantastic actresses. She apologized not just for the concert situation, but for all the time she ignored my feelings, dismissed my concerns, and prioritized Jake over us. She admitted she had been blind to how much it hurt me, and said she didn't want to lose me. See, now she's speaking in half-truth. Oh, she doesn't want to lose you, but not because she cares about you, but because she's, in her mind, invested time, and you're the guy that she can marry, to give her a ring, and be Mrs. Somebody while she has fun with Jake. It was emotional. She was crying, and I could see how much it scared her that I was about to walk away. For the first time in a long time, it felt like she was choosing me. Well, that's how it should have been the whole time, instead of you chasing after her and kissing her ass. And, of course, she was crying. But, yeah, isn't it amazing what he said when to her I was about to walk away? I told you, gentlemen, the most powerful thing you can do is walk away. And women are never going to truly respect their boyfriends or husbands unless they know if they cross that husband or that boyfriend, that he's out of there for good, forever. They have to know that. It's just like children with their parents. Those kids got to know they cross that line, the parents are going to open a can of whoop ass on those little brats. But here's the thing. As much as I appreciate her apology, it didn't magically fix everything. I told her that while canceling the concert was a good step, it didn't erase all the hurt. I still felt like I had been competing with Jake for too long, and trust once broken is hard to rebuild. There is no trust, and it's not going to work. And if you think for 1 second that the second things between you and this girl are back, if you're back together, and the second she starts to think that, okay, this guy, he ain't going anywhere, she's going to go right back to her old bullshit with Jake. Guarantee when she thinks that you're bluffing. So we ended up spending the weekend together as planned. We didn't go on the big anniversary trip, but we stayed in, cooked dinner, and had long conversations about everything, our relationship. Jake, the future, and everything. It was a roller coaster of emotions. There were moments where I felt like maybe we could make this work, but also moments where the damage felt too deep to repair. Brother, cut your losses and move on. It's just like a bad investment that you put money in. Deep down, it's never going to, the investment, the stock, whatever, is not going to recover, or it's going to take forever to do it. Cut your losses and take that money and put in another investment. Same here. Cut your losses with her. Learn something. Heal. Move on. By today, I was emotionally drained. Sarah seemed to think things were heading in the right direction, but I still wasn't sure. I needed space to think. So I told her we should take a break. Give each other some time to reflect and see if this relationship was something we both wanted to fight for. Uh-oh. I guarantee in her eyes, wait a second. Us girls can issue the taking the break thing, not guys. She didn't take it well. She cried again, begged me not to go, said she'd proved to me that she was serious about changing, but I needed to be alone, to clear my head without any constant push and pull of emotions. I agree. Now, frankly, he should be done with her permanently, but okay for him, because he obviously still cares about her. Yeah, you take a break, or taking a break is breaking up. Let's be honest here, but it's time apart. To figure shit out with her crying and begging and all that. If there was ever a time he wanted to get some special favors from her, now's the time. But putting that sleaziness aside, of course she's freaking out because now she has more uncertainty. Women are drawn to uncertainty because the bad boys give it to them, gives them the tingles, but they hate it. And now it's going to make her crazy. So I left, and I haven't spoken to her since. We agreed to give it a couple of weeks before we decide anything, but to be honest, I'm still leaning towards ending things for good. Amen. You're finally starting to do things right. Could she really have set boundaries with Jake after everything? No. I find this hard to believe after months of me begging. Smack! You should never beg. Be a fucking man about it. I felt like I've already checked out of the relationship. And while her efforts are appreciated, I can't shake the feeling that it's too little, too late. I can't shake the feeling that she's done it everything's on purpose, and she's told Jake, okay, back up for a little while. Once he's roped in, then we'll go back to her old ways. She hasn't changed, dude. I'll always care about her, but this whole situation made me realize how important it is to be with someone who values and respects you from the beginning. Amen. All guys deserve respect. To be with someone that cares about them, shows them through their actions how they care, respect, loyalty, love, and not putting some other fucking guy ahead of them. You know, someone who doesn't make you feel like you have to compete for their attention. You all think she might have cheated on me with Jake, so Reddit, I ask you, should I give her another chance or should I just go through the breakup? Dude, break up with her. Move on. Cut your losses. It's been like a year. A year's nothing. When you're super young, a year seems like forever, but when you're much older, particularly like my age, 40s, a year is like a fucking month. And I guess any of you guys watching this are probably 60s and 70s. A year feels like a fucking week to you at this point. But yeah, a year's nothing. Take something from this experience. Never let yourself be made number two, again, any relationship or third wheel. Stand up for yourself. Establish boundaries early on. No guy best friends with any girls you get involved with in the future. And learn what happens when you're this passive nice guy. Nice guys get walked all over. No self-respecting guy, or a bad boy, if you will, whatever, have tolerated the relationship you had with Jake in the picture. Never. She knew this. I'm convinced that she chose you because you're the guy that, okay, she wants to get married one day, so she's investing as little as possible in you because she knows darn well you'll put up with this shit and she'll reap all the benefits and still hang out with Jake. If Jake and her have been hooking up all along, I'm sure they have in the past. And Jake's a douchebag because he's screwing up the relationship. So, bro, you have made mistakes in the situation, but she's a big selfish a-hole. Do not take her back. The only reason she's doing this is because she's starting to have uncertainty that it could be all over with. And she has to start all over again. You know, she does not care about you. She hasn't changed that much that quickly. She didn't have some grand fucking three ghosts, like in a Christmas, Christmas Carol. And Scrooge is visited by three ghosts. She wasn't visited by three ghosts of romance past or whatever the fuck it is over the night to make her see the big picture. No, she doesn't want to lose her little potential husband here. That she has not changed at all. So break up with her, move on, learn your lesson. But good for you finally standing up for yourself. And I love the fact that by you scaring the bejesus out of her, now she's begging in waterworks and all that. That's good. And if you take her back, I guarantee you, in a short period of time, it's going to go right back to the way it was. Because she's going to realize all she has to do is cry and beg and promise. And guess what? They'll take her back. Period. Now, a few quick comments before I wrap this up. One guy says, not the a-hole. Her canceling plans is a good step, but it doesn't undo months of feeling second best. Trust is hard to rebuild, and her actions before this moment were pretty clear about her priorities. You've given her multiple chances, and it seems like you've already checked out emotionally. If you're leaning towards breaking up, trust your gut. You deserve to be with someone who shows consistent respect and effort, not just in the 11th hour. Right, it's in the 11th hour. Too little, too late. But anyhow, no need more comments. They're all pretty much the same thing. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.